Was there anything that surprised you as you were engaged in this research, maybe assumptions that you had going into it, or as you were writing the book, that having had all these conversations and thought about all these different situations, was there anything that really that either surprised you or that you don't hear talked about in the mainstream conversation around unaccompanied youth and immigration?
Yeah, I think the whether it's an academic discourse or just what's the discourse that's in the general public, the idea that when there are not adults in the room, kids are just gonna run amok, right? And their lives are just destined for um, just really bad outcomes, deviance, disconnection from society, um, all kinds of things, especially as it relates to immigrant young people. What really surprised me was that in the absence of adults in the room, so to speak, young people really came to care about each other, right? They started to develop support groups and community garden meetups and running clubs, and they were doing the work of caring for one another, even as the system let them down, even as other people in their communities let them down, even as their parents who kids would call home and ask for advice, and parents had never migrated, so they didn't have much to share in terms of helping their kids move forward. um, Teenagers and young adults, and as young people transitioned into adulthood, would speak back to recently arrived kids that were teenagers moving into young adulthood, and they became their own system of care. And that, I think, um, really kind of blew my mind as a sociologist, that anticipated that when kids are not in parent-led households or in K through 12 schools, they're just bound to what we call the underclass, right? Like just disconnection from society.